Awesome. Oh my gosh. So, welcome to What's Up Universe for Friday, October 20th. We are right in this beautiful portal of energy, 5 days into this eclipse energy, where we are definitely finding it a pressure. I mean, it's a very auspicious and positively aligned time for us. However, that being said, it's also creating a little bit of tension in the skies for us and really pushing us to not only reflect upon our life, but beginning to make some decisions for our life as well as take action on those next moves. Now, it's a very intense time. So, not only do we have the influences of what is basically calling all of us into a higher sense of purpose, but an expression of higher purpose. It's also, as we've seen happen out on the world stage, created a lot of instability. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of anguish and deep things happening. And again, as I always say, compassion. As mediums, we are compassionate healers of the world, and as such, we have great compassion that to work in cooperation, to work in creation, of creating a world of that is one of harmony, of one of balance, of one that is peace and of love. And at the same time, the other side, which can lead us into feelings of almost hopelessness when we get too entangled with what is happening in the world around us. So it's not that we don't care, but we certainly care so much that it can become very challenging and difficult. I know for myself personally, I've really been kind of having to ground, to refocus, to redirect myself into my life, because the outer world is almost too intense. But that being said, I've also, and which is we're here for this beautiful glorified human experience. We need to pay attention to what's happening in the world around us. We can't just turn a blind eye. We can't pretend it out of our reality. It is a part of our reality, and it's a calling of higher purpose for all of us, a higher expression of our light, a higher expression of our love, our higher expression of what is our the soul's work of what we're here to do at this time. This is where, again, I always need to remind myself, and of course in reminding you as well, is that we chose to be here, that at the intricate core of our being, we said yes to being here, and knowing that this is going to be a time of great evolution, a time of great suffering, a time of great awakening for our planet. And we're all readily equipped inside in order to navigate this, in order to show up and to be that light, and to allow for an expression of energy that's going to help and support what is a more divine or harmonious resolution. But again, we look at what is peace and what is freedom and what is liberation, and we're seeing it being so devoid in the world around us, that it really, the invitation is for us to look at how can we become more peaceful, how can we become more loving, how can we become less judgmental and less afraid. We always see the contrast of what's playing out, and the dark is definitely feels like, or seems to, and can feel like, it's getting far more potent or overwhelming than what maybe we've lived through or witnessed before. And the truth of it is that yes, as much as it is increasing with its potency, it's an invitation for our love and for our light to increase in potency as well. This is also a time where I feel like we are being invited to implement choices into our life, so we can be more peaceful, we can be more gracious, we can be more of a fuller expression of that light and authority in our own lives. And so, as much as we look to the world stage and in where our invitations lie, because you've heard me say it time and time again, if it's in front of us, it's for us in some way. A realization of how we can show up to be better to the people that we associate with within our communities, within our families, how we can, and better not say, and better isn't saying that we're not good enough. Better is saying that the more love, the greater expression of that beingness inside of us. And so, to be more light, and to be more loving, and to be more gracious, and be more kind, because our world is, we're looking at the abstract aspects, and it is in suffering. And so, as energy sensitives, we are suffering too. I think it would be almost I want to say negligent, even on my part, to come on here and to talk about how how, the spiritual progress, the things that we need to be doing in order to manifest for our lives, which is an important piece of our conversation. But we can't solely focus our sole focus also has to be in terms of the world around us. If it's in front of us, it's for us in some way, which means if we have someone who's hungry in front of us, let's feed them. We can't save or feed all of the hungry people in the world, but we can definitely take care of the one who is in front of us. If someone is hurting and suffering in our world, we need to be attentive to that. We can't just bypass it and see it as a way of this just being, oh, this is a part of their awakening, or this is how this is a result of their choices and those are their consequences. Yes, to that truth, but it's also very negligent of us to be able to not express what is the compassion or that light or mercy in those moments. It's also important to know if it's in front of us, it's for us in some way, which means even on the world stage, as we see the things happening and playing out in the world around us, we need to pause. We need to drop into our hearts. We need to give thanks and praise for the life, for the freedoms, for the dignities, and for the sovereignty that we hold here within our own lives. And in saying it, we need to bless and we need to pray for, and we need to direct that intention for the world around us, for those souls who have sacrificed and are sacrificing for the awakening of this planet and everything that they're going through. We need to honor them. We need to respect them. This isn't about politics. This isn't about who's right and who's wrong and what happened, years ago and why somebody's acting the way that they are now too. It's a recycling of trauma. And so in that, we're just seeing that it's having an impact. It's having a direct impact, not only in terms of things energetically, but a direct impact in terms of what becomes possible for our lives. We are all being invited into states of higher consciousness. And in order to do that, we need to move out of these times and ways in which we've ignored or bypassed or haven't been present. And we need to be present. And in order to be present, we need to be grounded. It's a big, big facet of the energy right now for this week. We're looking at all of these choices. We're looking at implementing, what is it that what choices are we making for our lives? What are we praying for our lives to improve, to enhance, to expand upon, to make manifest? And again, anything that sits there is important, because regardless of what's happening in a state around us, this universe is abundant. The invitations are for us to live in the truth and own our lives, and to upshift so that we can have a more positive energy or a positive expression of love that is out there to help to offset or to balance, like everything in the universe is seeking balance. Big part of what that Libra moon was about, helping us to seek balance. The universe is inviting us to do that as well on the greater world stage, and of course in our personal lives. Now, with this energy, as I said, we are being moved. This is a very auspicious, very positive time, even though there's a lot of negativity out there in the world. When we come back here under this influence, we are being inspired. We are reflective of our life. We're looking at what needs to shift, what needs to change. We're feeling a pulse or an urgency to move forward or to evolve or expand within our lives. And that's a big part of what's being activated in here. But we need to reflect, we need to regroup. And that's really what we've done. You probably found over this last week, really considering, okay, what am I doing? What is my life looking at? What are my intentions? What seeds am I looking to plant and put forward into this energy to manifest for my life ahead? And that's really been an important part. But now that we're at this point where we're regrouping, where there is a call to action that is taking place. So you've had amazing ideas, lots of creativity, you've been inspired, you've maybe even had some aha moments, you've gone through some deep, deep healing. I know I certainly have over this last week. And now it's a matter of applying that energy and applying our talents and our abilities, and applying it not only to increase what is the good in our life, but of course and continue to have that positive impact in the world around us. So this is we're really moving through this doorway. It's very quick energy, and where the energy is very quick and very fast, we are being invited, of course, to slow down a little bit, to pause, to be still, to listen to our guides, listen to the angels, listen to what's being asked of us, listen to our hearts. And then from there, as soon as we have those definitive answers, those things that are going to help us in moving forward, we need then to take action. So, I always I think always look at what are my standards? How can I increase the impact of my choices for the betterment of others? What can I do? What needs to shift? What needs to change? What am I being invited to? Those have been a lot of my questions over this last week. And in looking at what's happening on the world stage, I had said to one of my friends, I said, I'm really looking at what this means in terms of what I'm being asked at this time. How is it that I can, what more can I offer? What more can I do? How much more can I help? How much more love can I bring to the table? So this has been a big part of where the reflection is. And now through that, those conversations with the universe, through the conversations with your guides and angels, we need to now, again, we always have the power of choice, but we need to move forward. This energy is going to eliminate all procrastination. Everything is going to basically drop away, and we're really being pushed to move into a forward momentum. And now, push to move forward doesn't mean we're going to do things quickly. It means we need to stay very grounded. We need to stay focused. We need to implement small, intricate shifts and changes into our life, because even those small and intricate changes can really help to make a great benefit, not only, of course, for our own personal world, but for the world around us. So, this is a very innovative energy. So, again, very future oriented. And so, coming back to the present, coming back to our bodies, coming back into the moment is essential. So it's important that we're looking to create in terms of what our life forward is going to look at, and then also to come back to love, to fall into a place of just sovereignty for the life that we have right now, for the bodies that we have, for this gift of being here at this time and place when there's so much underfoot for all of us. So this grounding, now again, based on the conversations we've had around grounding prior to, or like in level one classes, and you've had different classes, and up, I've talked even lots on What's Up Universe about the importance of grounding, to understand that this is not about grounding our energy in the sense that we're feeling contracted or in constraint. Because if we are contracted energetically, or we are in constraint energetically, we're going to feel an increase of that suffering, an increase of all of that energy coming at us that maybe is that we're absorbing, or and it puts us into an absorption state, especially a spiritual empath. This is where we're absorbing the energy when we're contracted, which means we're not in our power and we're not in our light. So it's essential that, of course, through the expansion process, of course, that I teach in the level one program, but that we're looking to go and allow yourself that moment to pause, that time to really connect with Mother Earth. So just to be able to go down, connect to Mother Earth, and be grounded there, and praise and rejoice and celebrate and ask and receive from Mother Earth, the greatest healer and lover that we have in this life of ours. And then in that moment, as we connect with the Earth, this is also about reminding to move up and move that light, move your light, move the energy up, 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 and connect with the heavens, right? We want to ground, and we want to move up, 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 up in our energy field, so that we become a greater expression of light. We don't want to stay contained within grounding. If we stay contained within grounding, as I said, it's heavy, it's hard. We want to ground, we want to bless, we want to, and we want to create an expansion of our light. And we do that by going up into the heavens. So as much as, if you're doing that expansion meditation every day, kudos to you. If you're not, can I really encourage you to start doing that? It's been my lifesaver over this last week. It's been my lifesaver over, I don't know how many years already that I've been doing it. It's such an important part of helping us to be well, especially under these energetic energies right now. it's so helpful, it's so beneficial. And of course, the more we expand and our light, the greater the impact that has on the world as well, right? That expression of energy that's going out there. Now, grounding practices can also, do your morning expansion meditation, go out in nature, pause in the moment, put your hands on the earth, put your feet, let yourself just absorb and be still in that moment. Look to the trees, look to nature, not only for the expressions of abundance that are there for us, especially if you've been caught in a place of fear or lack consciousness. Look to the abundance that is being blessed upon us. But that being said, also look to the earth to help in bringing forward ways and means in which for you to stay present with yourself. Now, again, I always say we want to expand our energy and ground our mind. That's the key. And so we want to keep the energy expanded and then look to nature to help us focus, to bring us into the present moment, and to use this opportunity so that we can really become conscientious, and we can become a very aware of the impact or influence that we're having over our own lives. Our prayer in action, our intention in action is much more potent and much more powerful when we're present with where we are. And when we're present with where we are, we're present with how we feel. And how we feel, of course, is a direct relation to our vibration and the connection to the other side. When we go into traditional grounding practices, again, where we just stay grounded and keeping that energy contained, when we're doing that, we are really almost creating a even more density in the veil between the physical and non-physical worlds. Whereas when you work within the expansion, and you allow for more light to be infiltrating, it becomes easier to connect between the physical and non-physical world. There's a greater flow of communication. We're not creating any obstruction in our soul senses to bridge that connection. So again, these are things that need to be of careful consideration, as especially during this next week of energy, because this is our action phase of things. And again, we don't want to be too forward thinking. We want to plant the seeds, and then we need to come back, be present. We need to pray. We need to look at the world around us and send our love to those that are suffering and those that are hurting and those that are meeting what are just inhumane treatment. And oh my gosh, I could get lost in everything that's going on. And again, from the earthquakes to the physical, emotional traumas that are playing out not only on the world stage, but in our communities, across the street from us, all of those things. There's such a great pressure of what is the this this let's call it awakening destructive energy that's at play. And so we bless those who are suffering. And we also need to come back and be very conscientious of the energy we are choosing to be, what we are choosing to be in our lives, because what we choose to be is contributing to the greater world as well, to those around us. So such an important thing. All right, back to grounding. As I said earlier, I've got 2 cups of coffee. So we look to things. We look to nature, of course, to help us within grounding. Let's look to some of the foods, some grounding foods that can be very helpful. And again, anything. I'm not saying if you need to go and start drinking coffee. I mean, I'm not encouraging you to increase your caffeine, but if you do have, just know it's one of the ways to help you to stay present. Things like some chocolate is great for grounding. Nothing in excess. I think this is the key, everyone. It's like this isn't about a free permission card for you just to go and eat as much chocolate as you possibly want. But when you have a rich, dark chocolate, and that's where it allows you to stay grounded. Anything in terms of your almonds, your nuts, things like that, root vegetables are great for helping to stay grounded and present, allowing again the energy to expand and the mind to be grounded. Look for ways that you can do to be present with this life of yours. It's so, when we get caught up in future orientation and we get caught up in the energies of the divine and this grandeur of connection that we have with the non-physical world, it causes us to bypass the very things that are happening around us that are inviting us to understand our humanity, and to be there for each other, and to bless upon each other, and to know that, we have the power to not only change our own lives in very instrumental ways, but we have the power to choose and to change, the world together. And it's a really important time for us to be in consideration of that. So we want to make sure that we're bringing ourselves back into the moment, back into presence. And of course, as you know, you hear me say time and time again, meditation, meditation, meditation. There couldn't be a better time to start that meditation practice. And of course, those of you who are going into level 2, you kind of have no choice. So, and if you've gone through level 2 and you've dropped your meditation practice, let me invite you back. Let me invite you back. Okay. So we're here, we're being asked to give focused attention to what we desire, focused attention to our lives, to move from a place of, from what has been fear oriented into a place of abundance and wellness and light and love. And so with doing that, what's going to happen, you're going to see, is that anywhere that you've been feeling insecure, maybe doubting yourself, whatever it is, this is going to shift any situation for you by doing it. And it's going to bring you into greater alignment. So it's natural to feel a little bit off kilter in this energy. I know I certainly have over this last week. And now now we're all being invited to be more present, more grounded, more aligned, and focusing our intention in what we're looking to create for our lives, rather than getting entangled in the fear. Bless, pray, and come back to you. That really becomes the big message for us this week. So here, there's a lot of, I'm going to say, you're going to, oh my gosh, it is completely uprising for us, which means that you might even feel that this, as this eclipse doorway is starting to as we start to move into the second week here, just before the next eclipse takes place. It's really activating us again, as I said, not only in helping us to be more conscious and aware of our lifestyle choices, the things that we're looking to be, do, and have, but it's also elevating us into higher states of consciousness that are allowing us to have greater connection or fluidity between the physical and non-physical worlds. That means that all your soul senses continue to be charged up, which means do whatever you can to honor your physical body and support your energy system as well. So anything you can do over this next week that says, I love myself, I'm caring for myself, my health is important, I'm going to stretch my body, I'm going to drink lots of water, I'm going to allow for more of this energy to express through me for, I always say in my prayers, of God, for God, and through God, and for the highest and greatest good, which means that highest and greatest good, I need to make space for it, even energetically, into my life. So this is the practice of shifting out of what is um, um, you know what is causing a contraction of energy, and shifting into ways of greater expansion of energy, a greater expansion of light, and of course taking that expansive approach forward in terms of those steps, and those steps forward. So to take a path, do something this week that is going to challenge you a little bit. Maybe you need to learn something. You're going to sign up for a class. You're going to, even if you don't feel like you have money, you're going to go ahead and invest in something. You're going to do something that feels risky. This is an important part, because this is really what's directing you to grow. It is where we are being invited to trust in greater ways, and of course being able to take leaps ahead in terms of what it is that we're looking to really to express, or to be, or to how it is we want to serve. And so we're being on influence to really honor that, to take the path that's not familiar, to do things differently, and more important, to continue to work within balancing our energy field and expanding. Of course, so not only do we, when we expand our light, do we not only give of more love, but we actually receive of more love too. So it's a beautiful way. There's a lot here of energy that is happening, as I said, that is activating our connection with spirit, with the divine, and we need to use these opportunities to to seek the counsel, seek the guidance, seek the wisdom, to follow through, to care for ourselves, to nurture not only our connection and relationship with each other here in this life, but our connection and relationship with the angels, with our loved ones on the other side, because they are our helpers. These spiritual helpers are the very beings who are going to be able to help us navigate everything that is unfolding in the world around us, but also help us to begin to influence what is that good that is seeking to be expressed through all of us. So I know I've been really babbling here this morning. However, I really feel like we are at a very important time in our lives, a very important time for humanity, a very important time for what it is that is looking to manifest through us. And so we need to remember that, yes, we are these divine, beautiful beings. We have a divine nature about us, but also we're having a very real human experience. And we need to honor this very human experience we're having. We need to consider what we're doing with our lives, how we're showing up, and begin to take care of ourselves. And because in taking care of ourselves, we are inevitably taking care of the world around us too. This isn't about being selfish. This is about how can I care for my needs so that more light, more love, more I can be of even greater service than what perhaps I've been allowing myself to be. So that is my message for today. Again, everything you can do under this influence of energy. You might be feeling tired. You might be feeling lethargic. You might be feeling like you just want to crawl under the covers and go back to bed. I've certainly had the few of those days this last week as well. Honor your sacred rhythm, honor what is right for you. Give yourself opportunity to rest, give yourself opportunity to, there's so much happening at a cellular level as well. So we need to really, give reverence to that taking place as well. And then, look to the ways in which we can be of service and bring the joy and come back to what matters and what's important, and that is being in our life. Excuse me. So if tired, lethargic, maybe even headachy, whatever you need to do to take care of yourself, again, always come back to those three basic spiritual needs. They will be your godsend. All right. That's what I have to share for today. I hope you have a great nurturing week, taking care of yourself, as in knowing, of course, as I said, that you're taking care of the world around you.